Hi guys, Carl here. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about an OG lens, and by that I mean the kit lens that came with my camera when I got it a year ago. As most photographers do over the last year, I've accumulated some other lenses, primarily my favorites being the 50mm f1.4 and the f2.8 24-70 L series lens. This one has a bit of a squeaky focus wheel, and if I zoom all the way out, doesn't exactly stay up, but that's okay. Great lens, but today we're gonna be rewinding. We're gonna go all the way back to this. I probably haven't shot with this kit lens in, I would say, 6 months or so, and I also realized while kind of thinking about making this video, I haven't shot with my kit lens since I transitioned away from shooting on auto, and I've been shooting manual for probably the last 6 to 8 months, as you should when you start to get more acclimated to photography. But that's going to be an interesting transition to see what kind of images can I get out of this lens now that I'm able to adjust my settings for kind of what I want to get in my composition. So I'm curious to see if I can get anything good. What I feel like is gonna happen is I'm gonna be surprised by the stuff that I can get out of this, because I feel like this has been a bit of a crutch. I've had this thing on my camera so often lately. This is the f2.8 24-70. You get to punch in for portraits and you get to pull out for wide shots, and it's super versatile. It's why it's one of like the go-to lenses, but we'll see what I'm able to get with this kit lens. So I'm gonna go out and shoot some photos with this. Maybe I'll get some portraits, maybe I'll get some landscapes, some architecture, some vantage points that should be interesting, and we'll see what I can get with this really not great f4.5 to f5.6 18 to 55mm kit lens. So we'll see what I can get, and touch base with you guys in a little bit when I get back. All right, bye. Hey guys, just got back, and I just got done editing the photos that I took. I think I got some good ones, so we're gonna go through these and I'm gonna talk a little bit maybe about each one. We'll see how it goes. Also, just to tell you guys where I went, I pretty much took every single photo except for a couple right in Prospect Park. So I pretty much scooted the circle. All of the photos I took are pretty much right off the path, and also keep in mind it was really, really sunny today, like bearing down on top of me. I shot pretty much in midday, which added more complication to trying to get good images. So we'll go through what I got and you guys can make your own judgments. I think some of them turned out pretty good. This first one was a photo of a bee that I ended up taking quite a few photos trying to get it right, but I was able to get close enough to it, and I really think this one turned out well. I thought there's some pretty good detail in the body and the wings. This next one here, I was trying to get some kind of slice of life images, and this is one of the ones that I was able to capture, and I realized pretty quickly with this lens that I was going to be using, the 18 to 55, I'm not going to get very much depth of field, and that's to be expected. So I ended up kind of going with either really close up or trying to disrupt stuff by putting it in front of the lens, and that'll be something that you see maybe a couple times on here. So this is another one, just trying to not use depth of field or anything like that, just use framing to make the image hopefully a little bit interesting. I found this keep this far apart sign pretty interesting, and then all of the people in the background. So this is another image that I thought was kind of fun. This is another one that, again, so with this lens, there wasn't a lot I could do for depth of field unless I was getting really close to something. So that is something that I ended up finding myself leaning towards more often than not. So this was a fun image just of a leaf shooting right down the line and then keeping just that centerpiece in focus with some dead leaves and flowers in there, and that was kind of pretty. Now this was fun. I was shooting with these geese for probably about 20 to 30 minutes, and a lot of times the key to getting a good shot is just taking the time to wait for something interesting to happen. I probably took 60 to 70 photos of these geese to get a couple action shots that were really cool, this being one of them. We've got the detail of all of the little water spattering off of it. So this next shot kind of highlights the don't hesitate, just do it. Just ask if you can take a photo of someone. So I was scootering by and I saw this family. The husband was basically blowing bubbles. I scootered by and then I was like, no, I need to go get a photo of this because bubbles are fantastic. So I went back and I snapped a couple photos. Here's one of them. Now this next photo, again, this was with that family, but it's not the sharpest photo. She's not really in focus, but the emotion, the moment is there, and I love all the little sparkles from the bubble popping that you can see in the air, and it's just a really blissful moment, and I really like how this one turned out as well. Now we've got a few macro ones coming up. So this is just a dandelion. I really like how this turned out, framed with those bars in the background. They weren't exactly perfectly flush or straightened or anything like that, but you get close enough and you give it enough light, you're gonna get a good exposure and a good crisp image. Here's another one. I was shooting looking straight up a tree, and you kind of get just that little bit of sunlight hitting the bark, and you can get a pretty fun looking photo with some of those little tiny bokeh balls in the background. So this was a fun one here. Now, don't call me a cheater. I did bring my lens ball. Now this thing's only 10 or 15 bucks to buy one of these online. What was cool was through using it with this lens, I realized, you know, usually I'll shoot it from further away and kind of get your image inverted. What I found out is if I put the lens ball right up next to the thing I wanted to shoot, it acts like a magnifying glass and you get this cool effect like this. The other thing, if you look on the edges, you can actually see the other flowers that are actually still crisp and in focus, and that's pretty cool too. The next one looks like a retina, and I really like how this turned out. This is a dandelion, a dead dandelion, and this is, again, holding that lens ball really close gets you some really unique images, and you don't have to have a super expensive lens to get something like this. A little $15 glass lens ball will get you a lot of places and get you a lot of cool images. This next one here, like I said, you get that lens ball out, you get good composition, you get that straightened up in the background, you set it down, you wait for no cars to pass, you wait for a little while sometimes to get that clear shot, but there you go, you get it and you get a fun image. This one's out of order, I guess, but I really like this shot of these geese. You can't see their heads, you just see the two next to each other, and one of them's up on one foot. Again, I took a lot of photos. This is just one of those cool moments that you get when you take the time to wait for a unique image. And this is one of the ones I took on the way back. This is just by the J train by my area, and this is just shooting down the line, getting some people going where they're going. And one last one, I do like this image. It looks like a mom and her two daughters trying to cross the busy pathway here in Prospect Park. Again, not the most interesting image, but it's just slice of life. You can just keep your eye out for things that are happening that are emotive of the scenario, the situation that's happening. So yeah, that kind of concludes the discussion about those. I hope you guys liked that. I don't really know how to talk about photos that specifically, I guess. So if this was interesting, great. If not, say la vie. But that's all I've got for right now. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back with another video here very soon, I hope. All right, thank you, bye. Why did I do it like that? That was weird. That was weird. I'm weird. I am weird. Come on, berries.